In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Saturday, July 20th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our July 20th MLB bet slate we got going on for Saturday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 7.04 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. So continue to like and comment. That's going to help the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a broader audience. And guys, as well, make sure you sign up for that Patreon right now. Not only do you get daily bet access, you get access to the future bets, and you get access to that community chat, which is super key. People are going 24/7 on that chat, so definitely sign up for that link provided down below. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First up in Yankee Stadium here, we have the New York Yankees 58-40 going up against the Tampa Bay Rays 48-48. For the current odds right now, Yankees are home favorites, -145 on that money line, with the comeback of the Tampa Bay Rays at a +120. Total runs set at 8.5. For that public bet percentage, 91% of the bets, 88% of the money towards the Yankees on the money line. For the total runs, 77% of the bets and the money on the over 8.5 here. We have an interesting matchup with the starting pitchups here. Taj Bradley, 4-4 with a 2.90 ERA, going up against Nestor Cortes, 4-8 with a 3.67 ERA. These guys are completely the same pitcher when you're looking at the numbers. Both of these guys have huge home run splits. So we're looking at Nestor Cortes. He pitches phenomenal at home with a 1.81 ERA. Compared to his road ERA, he has a 6 ERA on the road. And when you're looking at his numbers at home, he is throwing a very high K rate, well above 25% to both lefties and righties. So great spot for Nestor Cortes at home. Taj Bradley is the very same pitcher. He pitches great at home, but absolutely horrible on the road. His road ERA is 6, the exact same as Nestor Cortes here. And he is giving up some gaudy numbers on the road against righties. A 3.72 home run per 9, a 278 batting average, a 1.45 whip, and the xFIP is at a 4.64. So those are bad numbers against righties, and it's just as bad against lefties. 1.69 home run per 9, a 333 batting average, a 1.78 whip, and the xFIP is at 5. All right, so across the board here, lefties and righties, this is one-sided matchup when we're looking at the numbers and we dig a little bit deeper, because I know you can look at the ERA and be like, hey, this could be more even. I think the Yankees are in a very good spot here at home. Give me the Yankees on the money line. Give me Yankees -1.5. And if I had to go with the over-under here, do I expect the Yankees to score the majority of the 8.5, maybe in that 6 to 7 range, where this can push the over and the Rays chip in with a few runs? I think maybe I'm gonna lean towards the under. All right, I'm gonna go against the grain here. Give me the under 8.5 runs, but give me the Yankees on the money line, and definitely consider that -1.5 as well. In the Lone Depot Park here, we have the Miami Marlins 33-63 going up against the New York Mets 49 and 46. Looking at the current odds, we have the road favorite New York Mets here, minus 165 on our money line, with the comeback of the Miami Marlins at a plus 140. Total run set at an 8.5. For the pitching matchup, we have Jose Quintana, a lefty, going up against Roddery Munoz here. Quintana is 4-6 with a 4.13 ERA, a 1.26 WHIP. Munoz is 1-4 with a 5.47 ERA and a 1.41 WHIP. For Quintana, he's been pretty solid as of late in his last 5 starts. Looking at his numbers against righties, he's given up a 266 batting average and a 1.38 WHIP. xFIP is at 4.67. Certainly in certain matchups, you can definitely pick on Jose Quintana when he's facing better offensive lineups here. I think he's in a very good position here against the Marlins. Looking at his BVP, he has dominated this team as well and dominated the NL East as well. So I like Jose Quintana in this spot here against the Miami Marlins. Munoz, on the other hand, is an absolute gas can versus left-handed hitting. His home ERA is at a 6.50, so that's all absolutely putrid. And then when you're looking at his numbers against lefties, like I said, every time, this is a very great spot for left-handed bats here in the New York Mets. A 4.09 home run per 9, a 303 batting average, a 1.33 WHIP. xFIP almost at 6 with 5.58. So across the board, that is great. And even against righties, it doesn't get better. All right, he has a home run per 9 at 1.55, and an xFIP is at 5.31. So these are bad numbers to lefties and righties. We have the better pitcher here on the Mets side as well. Give me the New York Mets on the money line at that minus 165. I would consider the over 8.5. I definitely think there's going to be a lot of runs scored in this one. Even if it's one-sided with the New York Mets, I do expect a little bit of the Marlins to hit up Quintana for a couple runs or two, even if it comes in that bullpen spot. But definitely Mets on the money line and give me the over 8.5. Next up in Nationals Park here, Washington Nationals 44 and 53 going against the Cincinnati Reds 47 and 50. Looking at the current odds right here, it is slightly to the Washington Nationals minus 115 if we're looking at the money line, with the comeback of the Reds at a minus 105. Total run set at 8.5. But when you're looking at the public bet percentage here, we have 75% of the bets, 95% of the money all over the Cincinnati Reds. So this is technically a road favorite here. A backed up road underdog, technically, a backed up road underdog. We have sharps and public all over the Cincinnati Reds as a public underdog. For the total runs here, 78% of the bets, 83% of the money towards the over 8.5 runs. All right, so this number has been moving. That's why it's getting closer and closer to even and creeping to that Cincinnati Red side with all the percentage of bets and money. So definitely expect this line to move as we get closer to Saturday morning. Probably around noontime. This is going to be Reds as favorites here. Pitching matchup will be Nick Lodolo, 8-3 with a 3.33 ERA, going up against Mackenzie Gore, 6-8 with a 4.01 ERA. When we're looking at this pitching matchup right here, Mackenzie Gore has been solid this year. One of the surprises in this rotation for the National. He's not giving up much power, but he is giving up a lot of hits to lefties and righties. His whip right now against righties is a 1.46, so he is a lefty. So this is a lefty-lefty matchup here, and he is giving up a nice amount of hits to right-handed bats. He is pretty poor against lefties. If it is a lefty versus lefty, he has been struggling against them as well. Nick Lodolo, on the other hand, another lefty, has been phenomenal, and he's even better on the road with a 2.27 ERA, batting average at a 1.44, a whip under 1 at 0.69, a BABIP under 200 at 1.77, and the xFIP is at a 3.72. So across the board here, this is a phenomenal spot. Nick Lodolo pitching better on the road, going up against a mediocre lineup here in the Washington Nationals, and then the Reds going up against a Mackenzie Gore that does give up some hits. So I expect the Reds to give some run support here to Nick Lodolo on the road. I like the Reds on the money line. at that minus 105. And if I had to choose the over-under, I'm going to go towards the under 8.5. I definitely think they can score on Mackenzie Gore, but I don't expect it to go over 8.5 runs. In Globe Life Field here, we have the Texas Rangers 46-50 going against the Baltimore Orioles 58-38. Looking at the current odds right now, Orioles are road favorites minus 115 on that money line with the comeback of the Texas Rangers at a minus 105. Total runs set at 8. For the public bet percentage here, 83% of the bets all over the Baltimore Orioles, but the money is creeping more on that Texas side here, with 56% of the money coming in on the Rangers. Okay, so this is very interesting to see here. It's understandable why that line is leaning towards the Orioles because the percentage of bets, but the money is staying solid with the Rangers here. Looking at the total runs, 82% of the bets, 73% of the money towards the over 8 runs. Starting pitching matchup here, we have Grayson Rodriguez, 11-4 with a 3.88 ERA. Going up against Max Scherzer here, 39-year-old Max Scherzer, still pitching phenomenal, 1-2 with a 2.96 ERA. All right, Max Scherzer, not much to say about him. He hasn't missed a step at all, even coming back from his injury from the playoffs last year. 39 years old, still pitching great. The only issue, he is susceptible to power, and that's with lefties and righties. So I understandable with how old he is as a pitcher. He still has very good stuff, but those opportunities where these young bats can crack up a big home run, he is susceptible. Against righties, his home run per 9 is a 1.72. Against lefties, his home run per 9 is a 1.54. So it could be a spot where Max Scherzer's been pitching great for 5 innings and he gives up 2 home runs. It could be something similar to that. Where you're looking at Max Scherzer's lines. He's still throwing a very high K rate as well. All right, Grayson Rodriguez, he struggles on the road. So this is an absolutely perfect spot here for the Rangers to attack the Orioles because of Grayson's issues on the road. Now, righties on the road against Grayson, he's given up a 1.48 home run per 9, a 282 batting average, a 1.56 whip, a xFIP at 4.4, a xFIP at 4.14, and he struggled against the Rangers in his career as well, giving up a 333 batting average and already 3 home runs in a mediocre sample size. So around, I think I saw 33 hits. I think at bats were around the lower 100 range. So mediocre sample size here, but definitely a bad BVP when you're looking for Grayson Rodriguez here, and he's in a bad spot on the road. So give me the Texas Rangers with the better pitcher on the mound. Give me them on the money line, minus 105. And I do think that some runs can be scored, even if it's Scherzer giving up home runs or the Rangers attacking Baltimore here. So give me the money line Rangers and give me the over on the 8 runs. In Target Field here, we have the Minnesota Twins 54-42 going up against the Milwaukee Brewers 55-42. For the current odds right now, Minnesota Twins are home favorites minus 125 with the comeback of the Milwaukee Brewers at a plus 105. No total as of yet right now. I would imagine this total be around that 8.5 to 8 range here between these two pitchers of Freddie Peralta and Pablo Lopez. You can go off the ERA. Obviously, Freddie Peralta is one of the aces for the Milwaukee Brewers, and Pablo Lopez, he's pitching below his average. All right, he is not a 5.11 ERA type of pitcher. He has very good strikeout stuff. He is very dangerous, but he did struggle at the beginning of the season. All right, so Peralta 6-5 with a 4.11 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. Pablo Lopez 8-7 with a 5.11 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. All right, so if we're looking at these numbers, Peralta on the road, righties are getting to him. He's giving up a 1.69 home run per 9 and almost a 1.4 whip, and the xFIP is at a 4.25. So definitely righties for the Twins are in a very good position here going up against Freddie Peralta. And then, like I said before, Pablo Lopez has struggled in the first half of the season, but when you're looking at his expected numbers, there's supposed to be some progression. So I expect Pablo Lopez to have a much better second half of the season here, and he is also giving up a little bit of some power to both lefties and righties. If we're looking at it right now, against lefties, it's a 1.42 home run per 9, and against righties, it's a 1.25 home run per 9. All right, so Definitely both of these teams, I do see some runs in this here, so I would consider the over on the 8 or the 8.5, whatever the total is going to be. I like the over in this game. And if I had to choose a winner here, I'm going to be leaning with the Minnesota Twins in this spot. I think Pablo Lopez has some very good strikeout stuff that can get to the Milwaukee Brewers bats, who do have a lot of lefties in this lineup. And that's one of the spots where Pablo Lopez can take advantage of. So Twins on the money line and the over on the 8 runs. In Wrigley Field here, we have the Chicago Cubs 47-52 going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks 50-48. This was one of the calls. I did post an early play in the Patreon. The early play was the Arizona Diamondbacks plus 1.5. They outright won. So this is the second game of the series here. Looking at the current odds, we have the Diamondbacks as road favorites minus 140 with the comeback of the Chicago Cubs at a plus 115. Total runs in this one, I would imagine with this the pitching matchup between Hendricks and Gallen, I would say around 8. I wouldn't say 8.5 because of the ballpark here in Chicago. Depending on if the wind is blowing out, all right? If the wind is blowing out, then that number is going to be high towards the 9 to 9.5 range. But definitely wait on news or on the weather for the Chicago game, all right? For the public bet percentage here, we only have information on the money line. 83% of the bets for the Diamondbacks and 53% of the money towards the Diamondbacks as well. No data on the total. And then we have the starting pitching matchup here. Zach Gallen, 6-5 with a 3.87 ERA. Going up against Kyle Hendricks, 2-7 with a 6.78 ERA. Now, Kyle Hendricks in previous seasons, his calling card was pitching at home. He would lock it down and somehow pitch well. He had a big home road split similar to Nestor Cortez or Taj Bradley. But this year, he's been absolutely horrible. So it doesn't matter if he's home or on the road. He is getting lit up, and he is bad against both lefties and righties. Against lefties, it's a 1.15 home run per 9, a 303 batting average, a 1.60 whip. Against righties, it's a 345 batting average, a 1.64 whip, and the BABIP is at a 413. So these are not good numbers here when we're going up against the Diamondbacks here, or if you're going up against Zach Gallen, because Zach Gallen has dominated the Cubs so far. 15 Ks and 50 at bats, and he's only given up a 180 batting average against the current Chicago Cubs. If we're looking at one little blemish on Zach Gallen, like I said, he pitches great at home, which not a lot of pitchers do in Arizona, and he's pitching pretty solidly on the road as well. His issue is going to be power lefty bats. So Bush or Ian Happ would be some guys that could get some home runs off of Zach Gallen if we're looking at the power issue against lefties. But I like Zach Gallen in this spot. I like the Diamondbacks. Give me them on the money line, and I would take the under on the whatever total is going to be. If it's 8 or 8.5, give me the under on the total here as well. All right, but main play, Diamondbacks money line. Next up in Dodger Stadium here, we have the LA Dodgers 56-41 going up against the Boston Red Sox 53-42. Current odds for this one, a very highly anticipated matchup here. Dodgers home favorites minus 140 with the comeback of the Red Sox at a plus 115. Total runs set at 9. So a nice high total here. And I would agree with this current number as well. For that public bet percentage, 95% of the bets, 100% of the money, all over the LA Dodgers. In this one, for the total runs, we have 65% of the bets, 68% of the money towards the over 9 runs as well. For the pitching matchup, Brian Bello, 10-5 with a 5.32 ERA. Going up against Justin Wroblewski here, 0-1 with a 6.30 ERA. Now, Brian Bello, he pitches slightly better on the road with a 4.59 ERA, but lefties definitely hit him very well. A home run per 9 at a 1.85, a whip at 1.52, and the xFIP is at 4.31. But this is one of the worst pitchers here in this Red Sox rotation. He's getting up a lot of runs, especially at home and on the road as well. If you're looking at his numbers, this is the guy that you do want to attack in this rotation for the Red Sox. Wroblewski was called up. He only had 2 starts in the beginning of the first half of the season. Only had 2 starts, 7 earned runs, 4 home runs in those 2 starts as well. So that's not good at all. He's a lefty who can't pitch to lefty. So if you ever get a matchup here, lefty versus lefty, he's definitely not in a good spot. He's given for 5.40 home run per 9 and a 5.88 xFIP against lefties. And his numbers against righties are not good as well. He's given up a home run per 9 at a 2.70. So this spot here, I can definitely see the underdog Red Sox getting this one. But my favorite play is going to be the over 9 runs. I don't trust Brian Bello, and I heck for sure do not trust Justin in this spot here. And if I had to choose a winner, I would be leaning towards the Red Sox as underdogs in this one. I think if we get into the bullpen, or if we're looking at the lineup, I think that the Red Sox bats can get to Justin quicker than the Dodgers bats get to Brian Bello. All right. This is going to be a high-scoring event here, and I would lean towards the over and Red Sox money line. Last but not least here, we have the Seattle Mariners 52-46 going up against the Houston Astros 50-46. Looking at the current odds, Seattle is staying strong on the money line at a -115 with the comeback of the Astros at a -105. The total run set very low at 7. All right, for the public bet percentage here, 91% of the bets, 100% of the money, all over the Astros here. Just make sure you pay attention to the line. If all this money and bets are coming in on the Astros side and the Mariners stay favorites, that's a cause of concern. That is very fishy, and that's a trap. All right, so you would stick with the Mariners in that spot. All right. So if we're looking at the total runs, 85% of the bets, 81% of the money, all on the over of the 7 runs. All right. For the starting pitching matchup here, very intriguing. Framber Valdez, 8-5 with a 3.66 ERA going up against George Kirby, who is 7-7 with a 3.29 ERA. All right. Now, looking at these two pitchers here, Framber Valdez is the weaker of the two. If we're looking at the numbers, he struggles on the road with a 4 ERA. And he has an issue against lefties. If we're looking at Framber Valdez, he's given up a 357 batting average, a 1.67 whip, and the BABIP is horrible at a .455. He's going to see 5 lefties in this Seattle Mariners offense as well, so that does not bode well for him. George Kirby, on the other hand, has been an ace for the Seattle Mariners, and it pitches even better at home with a 2.63 ERA. Nearly untouchable at home. I love George Kirby in this spot. I'm looking at this line movement as well. If it, like I said, if it stays, then it even confirms what I'm thinking. Give me the Mariners on the money line, and give me that's the tough part, with the under or the over here. Give me the under on the total of 7 runs. I do expect the Mariners to hit up the Astros just a little bit, but I do expect George Kirby in the bullpen of the Mariners to suffocate the Astros here. So Astros money line and the under on 7 runs. All right, so those are going to be the plays for the weekend for Saturday. All right, let me know in that comment section down below if you want to say what's up. Definitely comment down below. I would get right back to you guys. Let me know if you have any other props or any other suggestions that I did not go over. Let me know down below. If you want to sign up for that Patreon as well, you get access to the daily bets, the future bets, and the community group chat. That link is provided down below as well. And I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, peace out.